Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, we are back. We are back, and, I don't think we have enough fire yet.
Everything's so quiet here in the studio, yeah.
And nobody has an opinion.
By the way,
have you noticed no one has an opinion?
Todd Shapiro, how far left did he go? Did he fall off the call?
I think he went into the Hudson River.
In the Hudson?
No, I'm right here.
All right.
We thought he was in witness protection.
And we have a special guest. He is the hardest working person at Fox. I think he works 18 hours a day. I think he's always there. And he's also every day, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock on WABC. And, Brian Kilmeade, what the heck is going on? Why did Iran attack poor little Cyprus? And if they attacked anybody, they should have attacked the northern part of Cyprus where Turkey is.
Well, I mean, obviously, they're really making things worse for themselves when they go after these Arab nations, these Sunni Arab nations. They were going to stay out of it. They told us, don't use our bases, America. If you're going to attack, don't use our bases. We don't want to be a part of that. And what did they do? We didn't use their bases. We attacked Iran, chopped off 40 of their high-ranking officials, including the Ayatollah, and they hit back on the Arab nations. Thankfully, they haven't even gone for our aircraft carriers. And what they've done is got these Sunni nations angry at Iran. And I would not doubt that at some point that the Iranians are going to get hit by UAE, by Saudi Arabia, by Bahrain on their own, with their own military, because they've alienated them, which is a dumb move, but it shows desperation, a lack of organization. And when you mention Cyprus, that also shows they're targeting. I mean, these guys are totally discombobulated. They're not even sure what hit them and who's still alive.
Well,
there's no question they made a tactical error in attacking the Arab states, who, as Brian correctly points out, wanted to kind of stay out of this. But the idea that Saudi Arabia or the UAE, they're going to get involved militarily, I think that's highly unlikely. I think they're militarily useless. But the political cover that they're giving us is terrific. It's really important. I thought the MBS statement was great. So what you have is the Arabs. It's not just that they've aligned themselves with the United States. They've aligned themselves with the United States and Israel.
And Brian Kilmeade, besides that, I got a bunch of tweets yesterday from a lot of my Democratic friends that they all want to go back to Washington and stop President Trump from demolishing the Ayatollah. I said, are you in the, and I had to repeat, I had to put it in a comment in. Is the Democratic Party on the Ayatollah side?
Yes. And it's only because, they can't think about tomorrow. Everything Trump does, they do the opposite. And now they look at this guy that has been at war with Democratic presidents. You ask Bill Clinton, you ask Barack Obama, you ask Joe Biden. What is Iran? Why are they in the top of your hit list every day on your security briefing? Why are they always, there's always an issue, whether they're trying to negotiate or trying to figure out why they're taking our people or they're fueling militias that are killing our people. Now all of a sudden Donald Trump decides, I've had enough, we've tried everything, I'm the one to do it, and they got to jump on the other side. And they're just waiting for anything negative to happen in this incredible campaign. They're just waiting for it. I think they're so delusional. It's like being a drunk guy at the bar, and all you want to do is just flail away. They're not even thinking about who you're trying to hit. And for Tim Kaine and people and like Senator Mark Warner, who have been there getting high-level briefings for decades, for them to pretend as if this wasn't a brilliant move and a necessary move that other presidents shouldn't have done, shows they are flat out lying for pure politics. And I ask you, why are they in those jobs? They're in those jobs to make an impact. No, those guys are in those jobs just to get Democrats elected and try to squeeze out Donald Trump and make sure he doesn't have a successful presidency, when their goal should be making the country better. And these guys that have been there, they know what Iran is. They know what they've done constantly to undermine us. And Israel really would not have many enemies if it wasn't for what Iran's been doing. And that's a very anti-Israel party right now.
Brian Kilmeade, this is Jake Novak. Go ahead. I just had one quick question. Speaking of that, Brian, what do you make of this absolutely extraordinary report in the Washington Post that says that it was Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, who was actually making the phone calls to the White House the last several weeks, urging this attack? I mean, that is very interesting. I wonder what you make of it, because, again, it seems like Iran has proven Saudi Arabia right, because all they've done is attack other Arab countries and Israel. They haven't attacked the U.S. military.
It shows you there's a public persona and there's a real persona. You know, the first time we saw this, guys, do you remember when they, not Snowden, but the cross-dresser that changed sexes leaked all that material?
Chelsea Manning.
Chelsea Manning. So she leaks all that material. Do you know what it said? It showed these emails over to Hillary Clinton for us to hit Iran. It shows how Saudi Arabia and Iran hated each other's guts, and how Hillary Clinton has to get America to act back on their behalf. And it revealed the rivalry between these two nations, but publicly they would make us the problem. They make America the heretics. They make America the outsiders. But in reality, they were leaning on us. And that was prior to MBS taking power. Now you got this modernized leader. Yes, he's royalty, and they have horrific ways of punishing crime. But they are now thinking about their economies first. The UAE, their economies first. Qatar, their economies first. They're building up trust through economic ties, and they like Trump. So they would never have done this and counted on us and trusted us under Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who could not make up their minds. They were pro-Iran. They were trying to get that JCPOA passed. Saudi Arabia is like, are you kidding me? How can you trust Iran? And look, I know Saudi Arabia's got its issues, but you have to recognize how far they've come. And they are not a military threat. They have taken hold of the terror cells within their country, the bin Ladens and the extremists. That's not even taught in schools anymore. So they have turned the page. And it shows you what Trump is doing. And it also should curtail these complaints from Democrats, because they have to understand in the region, when they're coming now against Trump, if they are ever to get back in power, these Sunni nations are noting this. And they're saying, when Trump's gone, maybe we go back to that negative relationship with America again.
Now, let me ask you, has Saudi Arabia, guys, I'm the commander, the show's called Cats, and, is all the Arab nations unified with Saudi Arabia at this point, on what's going on?
I think so. I mean, it doesn't mean they don't have elements, Shia extremists amongst them. For example, our Iraqi consulate's getting hit. That, in a way, that just allows us to take the gloves off, because Iraq's been thoroughly infiltrated by Iranian militias and a lot of Iranian leaders. And now this gives Iraq the chance to get rid of that yoke. And I think we're going to start hitting them. Doesn't mean in Pakistan our consulate wasn't attacked by pro-Shia extremists. So we have elements, but I don't think governments. I can't think of a government outside Turkey that felt as though they could have good relationship with Iran. Qatar did it for survival, but because they don't have much of an army and they can't afford to alienate any side, but they can actually pay for their security, and that's what they do with us. That's what they do with Saudi Arabia, and they've had good relationship with Iran. But as far as a power, I think it's just Turkey. And notice, not a word from Russia. China has offered condemnation for the attacks, but that's lip service. This is. I know there's going to be some dicey days and hours. Give us. We have a few more minutes for this segment. Give us your pulse on the whether it's the Muslim community, the Arab community. Who is going to be with the Khomeini gone?
Is Erdogan seeking to be the big head honcho, or is it going to be Saudi Arabia? How do you see things?
I don't really see Turkey, like we know Iran and Saudi Arabia are adversaries, but I don't see Turkey as necessarily an adversary to anybody in the region. They're not really friendly to the West. There's distrust there. But I think that Erdogan is more focused on Syria, their border, and they're happy with what's transpired there. Of course, the Middle East has always been tumultuous, but I really believe that there's so much upside to this operation. And in the end, this is going to be one of the great things that Donald Trump has accomplished. And to see this idiotic mayor come out with a statement in support of the Khomeini against our action and for, he thinks, the Iranian community in America, say you're welcome here, you idiot. Most of the Iranians are here because they're not welcome there. The Ayatollah is hated by almost all American Iranians. So he's just clueless. And I just conclude with Democrats should just understand there are certain things that Donald Trump does that you can agree with, and this is one of them.
Now, one more question, Brian Kilmeade, before we go off, before we have to take a break. The situation going on, President Trump has supported President Clinton. President Clinton has supported President Trump. That this stuff going on with the nonsense of each party going against the previous presidents over nonsense versus, hey, if it's treason, you should go after a president. But over nonsense, going after presidents, how do you feel about it?
Well, Donald Trump's been very direct about his criticisms of other presidents, so I understand that.
Biden is a separate situation. We got to find out someday who was really running the Biden White House.
Right. I feel much more comfortable, and I think it's great for our country when our presidents don't criticize each other. I really do. George W. Bush has done a brilliant job at that. Either way, I don't think Donald Trump is benefits by keep bringing up Joe Biden every day. And Barack Obama, and Obama's been weighing in more and more, and that doesn't help either. So I would love to stand down and show the more Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush relationship. I think it's better for the country. They became great friends. Ford and Carter became great friends, and they had a bitter election. So I'm much more comfortable with that. And George W. Bush and Bill Clinton are great friends.
I agree. I agree 110%. Thank you. And you know what we're going to do? I just saw on my computer that Bill Clinton made a statement yesterday about his testimony. I guess if he made it, everybody who's listening, tune in at 7:02 after our break, and we're going to play Bill Clinton's statement. And Brian Kilmeade, thank you 110%.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to all of you. Talk to you soon.
God bless. And during the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have Rabbi Potashnik, another joke.
We're taking over.
We're taking over completely.
We're going to give you a bar mitzvah.
And I'm wondering if A.R. Bernard is going to call in. and how about Cardinal Dolan? He's good friends with the rabbi. Oh, we have to take a break? You tell me. You're the holder of the clock.
We are. You're listening to a special. We're working. If the American military is serving us, we got to be working live here on WABC. This is a live edition of Cats Roundtable. We'll be right back.
At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in Healthcare Informatics, Digital Marketing and Analytics, Business Analytics, or Financial Analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.